Hi there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to TGIF Talks, episode 186. I'm your host, Dr. Sheep, joined by co-host, well, not co-host, well, getting there, Rondo.
Hello.
Alright, let's, you can't see it, but the intro is here, and it's gonna roll. You know, I've got a stack of $half here on my desk, and I always thought $half, you know, they felt really big and bulky. And then I now have a stack of Eisenhowers on my desk, and I pick up the Eisenhower and compare it to the $half, and I go, whoa. The Eisenhower, you can actually you could feel the heft compared to a $half. Yeah. I bought a roll because A, I don't have any $half for my collection behind me, and B, I bought this a while ago, but I was just fidgeting with it. And B, I'm looking for the bicentennials because I want to get not all, but as many of the variations of the coins as I can get, the mainstream coins. So bicentennials are. You see them all the time when people bring in $half, but like they usually bring in a ton of coins, so it gets thrown into the machine, and then they're just gone to the wind. Can't get them back. You're just like, wow.
Forever.
Yeah. But oh well. Anyways, how are you?
Oh, I'm swell. Just another delightful Tuesday afternoon in the life.
Well, see, you had an afternoon off too, like I do.
I go into work early.
Oh, how early?
Like 6:30. So it was about an 8-hour day.
Oh, they don't make you take a lunch.
Yeah, like I set my own hours, so if I really wanted to, I could, like, I don't know how to phrase this properly. It's more based on how your work gets done, than like you have to set, have set hours. Like technically, as a graduate student, you're supposed to only work 20 hours a week, and then the other 20 is supposed to be classes. But it's more like you work 40, and then whatever's left over, you do classes.
Oh,
but
how nice.
Yeah, so there's really no set schedule. It's more about if you get your work done, you set it. I just like getting done early in the morning and then coming home early in the afternoon. So it's usually what I prefer.
Fair enough. Well, see, you don't have to take a lunch. See, I would have to take a lunch during that because of the law.
I don't have to take a lunch. I usually just eat lunch while I'm running some code. That's usually what I do.
Which is why I'm 8 to 5 instead of like 9 to 5. Because they make you. Yeah. They always never. Because I guess it must be other places where it's like you get like a half-hour paid one, and so you work 9 to 5, but half of that hour you're not working, but you're still getting paid for it. I don't know. Not sure how it works for other places. Why the whole 9 to 5 thing ever came up. Or is that back when they didn't give people breaks?
Yeah, I don't know why that was established.
Yeah, so I mean, I obviously
kind of silly.
I mean, I know why 9 to 5 is a thing, the whole factory worker thing, but like they were working 12-hour shifts. So I don't know what union decided to make it 8-hour shifts, but then not, but no lunch. I don't know. Who knows? Doesn't really bother me.
You're in a tough position where as you have pretty set hours as a business compared to some other ones. You could maybe people could come in at different hours and get work done.
Yep. You know, factory or anything like that.
Doesn't really help you.
No. Nope. I have to be there for the people. I always thought it was the most interesting thing, right? So you're a small business, right? Let's say you have to deal with I don't know, regular ass people, right? Not
Yeah.
businesses. Okay, so you set your hours 9 to 5 or 8 to 5, like a dentist office or whatever. How the hell do you expect anybody to make it out of their work day to come to you? Like the
That's how
DMV.
that's how the hours at Grand Forks are for about everything. Um, Everything just you're 8 to 5, no matter what. So it's tough scheduling.
Yeah, I realized it when I first started working, the regular hours, and I realized, it's hard to make it anywhere. You just take for granted that Walmart and other places that they're open later than that.
Yeah.
But the bank or the doctors, oh God, no, they're not going to do that. Hell, my dentist isn't even open on Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, or the weekends, and you're just like, well, how the heck are you expected to make it in to your appointments? Well, then,
Yeah, if it's
and then
blocked out, that's
and then your work gets upset that you have to block out time, and you look at them like, have you tried to make it to these appointments? No, you can't, because everyone works the same hours. So naturally, as a part of society, somebody's got to bite the bullet and not work the regular times.
Mm-hmm.
Like my hair appointments. Luckily, she has like 2 days a week where she'll work till 6:30. So I go in at 6. That way I don't
Just
think it.
kind of interesting. I'm sure that was also another thing that was established over time. I'm sure it used to be you just like it didn't line up at all, and if you couldn't get in, you couldn't get in.
Well, well, I think a lot of that changed during the workers' rights thing back in the early 20th century, because everybody would work 12-hour shifts, and I don't know, and so you might have just gotten stuck on a crappy 12-hour shift,
Mm-hmm.
and so, which is why they always call it banker's hours. It's like, oh, that's the that's the pinnacle of hours, because the banks back in the day, I'm sure they did not really care. They were open 8 to 5 or whatever hours they wanted, or whatever hours the government told them to, and that was it. Now,
Yeah.
banker's hours, my ass. I still have to work Saturdays. So,
Rotated Saturdays.
yeah, but it's still an inconvenience. I mean, it's nice in some regards because it gets my ass out of bed. But I just hate having to go to bed early on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels dumb. You're just like, why? What's the point of this?
Do you feel like you sleep a lot more than when you were in college?
Yeah, oh God, yes. College, something changed between college and now. But I have to get way more sleep now, otherwise. But I'm also beginning to realize how much I actually slept during the day. Unintentionally, intentionally, whatever the case may be. It happened way more frequently than I ever realized.
Mm-hmm.
How much you slept through class. And then when I was working at the co-op, I was like, when I started working at the bank,
Not the co-op.
Yeah. But when I started working at the bank, I realized, oh my God, I have to go to bed a little earlier than I was at the co-op. But then I realized, oh yeah, I was sleeping for like an hour or more at the co-op every damn day. And I was like, oh.
You sure did.
Of course, so that I could stay up later. Because I was going to bed at like 11 or like whatever. But then I got to the bank and I tried going to bed at 11 and it wanted to kill me. And I'm like, oh, all right, we better switch to 10.
Yeah.
So.
Is there an age where people like start sleeping more, do you know, or is that pretty variable?
It's definitely variable, but I would guess it starts in your mid to late 20s. I'm a little soon to the thing, but I'm also out of shape and work a desk job, so. But I would bet that's where it starts. It's the weirdest thing with humans, right? So everybody, people wait to have kids later and later. And like I think the standard age is like 25, 26 would be for your first kid. And even then it's starting to become even earlier. Yeah. And but you make the point, you're already 5 years past your prime.
Mm-hmm.
Like your prime is, for guys, 18 years old.
In reference to what?
Physical condition.
Pretty sure. I thought it was early 20s. I thought reaction time is like 18.
Oh no, your reaction time is from the moment you're born, it declines.
What is your source?
You can look it up. Look it up. Reaction times. Reaction times. What you see in gaming, anyways, is you see a curve. Is skill level increases, but reaction times decrease. And so, right in the middle of where those two curves meet, that's where the optimum age is, which is like 16 to 18. 18 is actually kind of old. That's why all the people that win the Fortnite tournaments
the average best reaction time is 12 to 15.
Well, yeah, but babies are faster than that. Trust me.
It says 24 is the fastest.
For reaction time?
That's what it says.
Nah, really.
Declines after. You looking it up?
Yeah. When does reaction time peak? Age 24. Blaze Pod. What is that? Hold on. Blaze Pod?
I saw a couple that said 24, but
let's go to PBS.
PBS.
Age 24. There you go, from PBS. Well, I trust public broadcast over anybody else.
Well, now you know.
Oh yeah, I always forget they're sponsored by BNSF and the CPD. No, that's B. Oh, Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Oh. Guard. What is that? I almost thought when I almost looked over, the BNSF logo kind of looks like a Raytheon logo, and I could have swore they were being sponsored by war profiteering companies. And I was like, what?
It's the bill.
You telling me Raytheon's making Clifford the Big Red Dog? This week on Clifford goes to visit a missile factory.
Oh, Clifford.
Oh man, he'd make a mess in there. He'd kill some people. He's like a dinosaur. He is a dinosaur.
Clifford?
Yeah, he's literally like a medium-sized dinosaur.
How big is Clifford anyway?
Oh, well, I guess you always have to remember in the cartoon, like, the girl's like 6. So Clifford isn't actually as big as you might think. But I think he's like 12 feet tall.
I was going to say, Clifford's still pretty big. He's not Godzilla, but he's pretty large.
25 feet!
That's a big boy. Big dog.
From paws to head. His size is inconsistent, though. 25 feet! Oh my god. He's taller than a T-Rex.
That is a big doggo.
Because how tall is the T-Rex?
Gotta be like 20 feet. It might be like 20. It might be 28 or so. It might be
12 to 20 feet. Because I was gonna say, I think I remember it was pretty consistent in up to 40 feet in length. Yeah. Because I just remember reading, well, not reading, but when I'm listening to Jurassic Park, he always says like 20 feet. Like,
are you still on book 2 for that?
Yeah. It book 2. I don't know. It's starting to have some similarities to the movie, but not really. The antagonists are completely different.
I'm pretty sure it's after the first book, it really just dives away from it.
Yeah, and they're not really even antagonists. They're just there.
Yeah.
Now I guess there isn't. I haven't gotten to. They have the baby in the trailer. Its leg, so its leg still broke, but it wasn't because the antagonist. So the antagonist broke its leg, but unintentionally.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, instead of stealing dinosaurs, they're stealing eggs, just like in Jurassic Park 3, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So they're stealing eggs. And so they went to, I think it was Myosaurs. Yeah, I think it was a nest of Myosaurs. They stole eggs from there. And then, of course, the very second nest they go to is the frickin' T-Rex. And the eggs are huge. So, like, one dude, like, struggles to pick up the egg and, like, carry it.
I'm surprised you'd even be able to, honestly.
Well, they said it was, like, the size of a small beach ball.
I feel like it would be larger than that, honestly.
Well, I will say Michael Crichton's not great with describing size.
Yeah.
He said it was like 2 large ostrich eggs, but that, of course, that might have been the Myosaurs. But I don't know. I just imagined a T-Rex egg like literally being like this big, tall, like probably what is that, like 2.5 feet tall? Probably pretty round. I would say probably. Its diameter probably 1.5 feet, maybe more. That's how I would picture it, because considering how big the infant was.
Yeah.
Oh, and they don't have the down around the neck in the movie. In the book, the baby Tyrannosaur has down around its neck, like feathers.
Yeah.
They don't have that, no, in the movie. So they steal. They were only able to steal 1 egg. They tried to steal a second one, but their noise machine. So they had a machine that makes a noise that pisses off the dinosaurs, and it gets them to stay away. And it
kind of like that orca for the Godzilla movies from a couple years ago, you know.
I barely remember that part. I don't know if we watched that part. Did we watch that?
That was the second Godzilla movie with Ghidorah.
We did.
Remember that they had that device that could just call across like the entire world.
Oh,
that would anger
yeah.
every single one of them.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
We saw a giant mammoth.
Yeah, there was a giant mammoth that came out of Germany, I'm pretty sure.
Right. So they had a device that would piss off the dinosaur and get it to leave them alone. And it barely worked in the T-Rex. But like the guy who was holding it, the cable came undone from the battery pack. Because, gotta remember it's 1990s technology.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the guy makes it away with the egg. But when they're trying to get the second egg, the other antagonist, he's trying to get the second egg. I think that's when he breaks the leg of one of the baby Tyrannosaurs by stepping on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing comes unplugged, and then the last 2 deaths. I guess I don't know if Dogson's dead yet. It made it seem like he's unconscious, but then of course one of the guy who survived, who got the first Tyrannosaurus, the first T-Rex egg, he just left him in the jungle for dead. So
For dead.
He paid for it later. What's the name of the dinosaurs that have the round heads?
Round heads.
Yeah, and they like to butt into each other.
No, the Pachyosaur.
The Pachyosaur.
Or Patchy. It's like
There might
Apache's the name.
Well, they call it something different in the book, but it might have there might be a different one because Bronto, they don't have Brontosaurus. They have Apatosaurs. It's a patasaur, starts with an A, but the narrator calls them hepatosaurs. Just gets rid of the or it sounds like he gets rid of the hepatosaurs. And so I'm like trying to look up hepatosaur, not getting anything. So then I just like have it play over the intercom with Google open, and that's when it figures out it's a patasaur.
Interesting.
Because I'm like trying to figure out like what the hell this dinosaur is, because I've heard the last 2 books.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know what the hell it is.
I don't remember that from Mark.
Right. I'm just like, what the hell is this dinosaur? I don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. So I'm like listening to his descriptions like very intensely, like, okay, what is this thing? And I'm like, sounds like a Bronto. But I'm like, I'm not sure if it is. So eventually I was able to Google it. Took me to the second book to do that. Need like a dinosaur book just sitting there. Just like they had, just like the hunter had in Jurassic Park 2.
Mm-hmm.
He had the pamphlet that he threw away. Because they were gonna say apatosaurs in I think he was gonna say it in the movie, but he didn't. But you know, he made the joke about, oh, I can't say this shit. Just threw it away. He's like, the big one.
The big one.
Yeah. So so he runs into a pack of the Apaches, and you still get them slamming into the Jeep and shutting the door, but that doesn't. He was outside of it by that point. He got away. The Raptors find him.
That'll do you.
It was the most graphic description I think he has given yet. Because it's all from this guy's point of view. Usually it's like third person. And it's like, his head was ripped from his body. Then, his arm was ripped from his body. Then his head was just, I think one of the best descriptions was his wristwatch glistened in the sun as it hung from his wrist between the jaws of the Tyrannosaur. And you're just like, bruh. All right.
It is pretty descriptive. Paints a nice picture.
This one, he gets tackled by the Velociraptor. And, oh my god, it got so in depth. Like, he had like a moment of like peace before he died.
Mm-hmm.
It was I was actually getting like, I'm like sitting there, I just parked my car. I'm like coming inside. This is right where I left off today. And I'm just like, okay. This is
enough for today.
This is a bit much.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm just sitting there like, I'm actually getting a little lightheaded listening to him describe this guy's death in excruciating details. Eddie hasn't died yet. So, I don't know if he dies.
Interesting. Surprised he didn't just die.
So, Eddie is still in there. But, Levine is... He's a character that's not from the movie. And then, Kip Thorne. Dr. Thorne. He's also not in the movie. I don't remember. Does the videographer die?
Videographer.
I just watched it. Owen.
I think he does. Doesn't one of their group die and it's not Vince Vaughn? Or is Vince Vaughn might be the videographer, actually.
Well, because Owen is his name. His name was Owen. They've used Owen twice in these damn movies. His name was... I just watched the movie. I think he does. I think a raptor gets him.
Is he like the main guy who talks out of that group that went there? That was not like the girl and the guy.
That wasn't Ian and Hardy?
Yeah.
Probably. Because Eddie was the bald one. He was the one that got killed by the Tyrannosaurs.
Oh, yep. Then he lives in the movie because it's Vince Vaughn.
Oh, he does live.
Yeah. Vince Vaughn lives in the movie. You just don't see him for a while, so you're not sure if he died or not, but he lives.
Okay, because I couldn't remember. Well, it'll be interesting to see. From the way it almost seems like the book's gonna kill off Ian.
Really?
Yeah, because it's just the only people left because the kids were taken to the High Hide with Levine and Kip Thorne. Actually, I don't think it's Kip. That's actually a scientist, but his last name is Thorne. Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Thorne and Levine go up to the High Hide. I think, and Eddie's with them. Actually, I'm not sure if Levine's even with them, to be honest. The more I think about it, I think Levine is out doing something. He's off researching. Because he's all like, it needs to stay pure and blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And so they left Ian and Harding to bandage up the baby. I remember reading. Decided to read a subreddit about it, and they were just like, "Yeah, book 2 is very technical." Like he spends a lot of time talking about dinosaur behavior,
Yeah.
and there's these long conversations between uh, Ian Malcolm and Levine as they're discussing dinosaurs. And it's always interesting when when the narrator switches to a different character, like one of the bad guys or bad guys. In this case, these three guys were they're just some they actually have not interacted in any way with the main
Mm-hmm.
cast. They haven't. They knew the main cast. I guess they interact with Sarah Harding because they get her to the
Mm-hmm.
island. Uh, well, I'd say they get her most of the way there, and then they throw her overboard of the boat to kill her. But she lives,
Dun, dun, dun.
and then because there's cameras all over the island, they're able to find her. The good guys.
I forget, do they go to the second island in this, or is it somewhere
And
else
they
in
do.
the
That's why it's
books?
called. That's why it's called Lost World. They do go to Isla Sorna.
Okay.
They
I wasn't
actually
sure about that.
the whole very beginning of the book, the first like maybe quarter of the book, I feel like, is them trying to figure out where the is there another island? What's the other island? And it's very interesting. Ian, I figured at some point would tell them explicitly that oh yeah, I went on a whole tour with of the Jurassic Park thing. But he just gives exposition. They're just like, okay, makes sense. They don't really question him, like, how do you actually know? I think he said he did some consulting, but he doesn't get very descriptive. And,
Well,
like,
wasn't it public knowledge that he went
no.
after? I thought it just wasn't public that people died.
So, in the books, everything is under wraps.
Hmm.
Nobody knows there's dinosaurs. Nobody really knows these people went.
Interesting.
They do mention Grant one time in the book in Lost World. One time. Well, at least so far, anyways. They just did it today, and they did it to shit on him. Or it actually might have been yesterday. They were talking about because the guy who gets torn apart by a Tyrannosaurus Rex. They were talking about why the fuck did he freeze? Why did he freeze? He just stood there. And, well, they had read an article that said T Rexes can't see movement because their brains are like that of a frog's.
Mm-hmm.
And Levine, who was like the head paleontologist, is just like, those idiots. It's a predator. It has to be able to see movement. It couldn't survive otherwise. They're about like Grant, who recently published a paper where he said Tyrannosaurus would get lost in the rain.
Tough.
And he's like, that makes bullshit sense. The T-Rex lived on the next to the inland seas, next to the Rocky Mountains, up by Montana, where Montana is now. That's where the T-Rex lived. And he's like, thunderstorms often happen next to the sides of mountains, since the Rockies were there at that time. Or the beginnings of the Rockies. And so he's like, of course they're going to see thunderstorms. It's not that dry. So yeah, it just shits on Grant in like one sentence. And I'm like, all right. Oh, man.
No, you see any of those new movies coming out?
Well, I mean, like, next year. Well, aren't the Jurassic Park movies, they're not coming out for a while.
No, not those. Like the new ones that are doing big, like the new Twister movie or Deadpool or that Long Legs movie.
Oh. Well, Deadpool, it'll just come out on Disney Plus. There's a helicopter flying by with what looks like a, it's carrying something underneath it, as if it's like carrying one of those bags you use to put out fires, like you carry water.
It's not a, what's it called when they're going to the hospital.
Do they carry people at the end of a rope like that? No, they're going towards the airport.
They don't always bring them all the way up.
Huh. Who knows? I don't know. They're not going towards the hospital unless they have to, like, go to the airport and circle back. Because the hospital's straight south of here, not west. But anyways, well, Twisters maybe. Long Legs? What is that?
That's that, like, thriller horror movie that came out about a week ago.
Probably not. I don't seek out horror and thriller movies.
You only watch Halloween?
I only watch when you guys watch.
Mm.
It's not exactly. I mean, I have no qualms with the movies. They're not my favorite to watch. But it's like if other people are there to watch them, sure, I'll watch them. But it's not like I won't seek it out.
Did you ever watch the new Halloween movies?
The one where didn't we watch it last time I was up there? The guy.
Oh, we did watch the last one right when you were up here, didn't we?
Yeah, we went when they went to find him in the sewers and he tried to kill him.
That was such a bad movie, man. I don't think I'll ever get over how bad that movie was.
They tried to kill him, right?
Yeah.
The little munchkin tries to kill him and he eats his soul or whatever.
Yeah, it was bad.
I really don't.
Surprising since the first two were actually decent.
I don't understand why. So, like they tried to kill. Because there's Halloween, so it's the original Halloween, and then they retconned every other Halloween after it, right? For the latest ones, so there was no Halloween 2.
Yeah, there's no like 10 Halloweens.
Yeah, and then they retconned themselves again because he survived.
In which one?
The what was supposed to be the final Halloween, the one that came out while we were in college.
When did they retcon themselves? He never died until like the very end, but
yeah, when he was burned alive, we thought he died, and then it was
in the second movie.
Well, how many new ones are there? Are there 3?
Yeah, there's 3.
Oh, I didn't know.
No one thought he was dead after the second one because they never. Everyone knew he was getting out because they announced a trilogy. So
there's 3 new ones.
Yeah, that last one we watched was the newest one.
So did I miss the second one then?
Possibly. The dad died in it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of any other important. There's that crazy doctor that stabs the sheriff in the neck. That's in the second one.
I do remember that, but I
Actually, that was in the first one.
oh
The second one is they go to a hospital and Laurie Strode's in like the hospital the whole movie.
oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, with the little penguin guy that they think is Michael Myers, but it's not.
Oh, so we did watch. So we must have watched the second and the third one.
The second one had been out for a year or two before, so
Yeah, so we must have watched the second and the third because I remember the third one where the
yeah,
guy tries to become Michael Myers
yeah,
and he tries to
yeah,
kill him and then gets murked.
yeah. The third one, the first two weren't bad. Last one, terrible.
Okay, I'm remembering now. I still don't remember much about the second one, but I must have seen it. I remember the hospital, yes. So,
Hmm.
interesting. No, yeah, I don't just actively seek out horror and thriller movies.
Tuck liked them besides the last one.
Right. Are they done
He's
now, or do you think they'll revamp it again?
I saw they were revamping it. Might be a TV series though, so that's gonna be
Oh,
bad.
how what?
I don't know. I don't know,
How can
man.
you make us like the scariest TV series I ever saw was Goosebumps. That's because I was
These uh
10.
these these companies just want money, man.
No kidding. Because
Crazy that he got stuck in his island all week.
wait, he got stuck?
Yeah, they had to stay there an extra week because of the airline malfunctions, you know?
Oh, from Friday?
Yep. So they had to stay a whole another week until this Friday.
Are they being accommodated for that, or how's that working?
I don't know. I never I just know that they're going like they finally got a flight out on Friday. I didn't get a chance to ask them about the logistics of cost and stuff. But yeah, so he's had a I don't know if we want to call it a long week because he still gets at least you're in like a resort area because you get a resort for some more days, but probably a little more stressful since he's gonna miss some clinicals because of that.
Yeah. Oof. That's gonna set him back. He's gonna have to make those up, isn't he?
Yeah, he probably just has to do one extra week or something.
Oh
So
man.
that's no fun.
No, no, it's not. Jeez. Huh. Yeah, that computer, the CrowdStrike thing was interesting.
That was pretty crazy.
I can't
How
believe
was it at the bank?
I didn't do shit.
Well,
We had two functional computers, and mine wasn't one of them. So I stood around all day. I wanted to go home, but oh god, no, couldn't do that. So she sent the other full timer home.
huh. Why'd she not send you?
I don't, because I'm there till 5.
You know, you're a good worker, so that's why they wanted to keep you around.
Well, that might also explain why my half day is today and not tomorrow. Because I looked at the boss and I was like, "You're having me come up at 7:30, so instead of having me come at 9 on Thursday, and just lobbying, because I'm gonna instead of having me work a 10-hour shift and then having to work a 9 to 5 on Thursday to
Hmm.
get to so I don't get overtime. Why not? I don't know. Just have me take my half day that day and just send me home at 11:15. We do it all the time.
Hmm.
No
What
idea.
it's like working in the corporate ladder.
I think the reason why she doesn't have me do it is because once again there would be no I wouldn't be there at 5.
Hmm.
And so if I'm not there at 5, and there's no one there from 4 to 5. I think that's the problem.
Hmm.
I really can't see how that's really a big problem, but apparently it is. So, oh well. Oh well, I gotta work 10 hours tomorrow. At least
Oh
I get
well.
breakfast pizza.
You get breakfast pizza from what? Casey's?
Yeah. So at least there's that.
Do you enjoy the breakfast pizza at Casey's? That pretty frequent thing for you to eat?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't say it. It was freaking there for a while. You gotta limit it. But yes.
Probably not quite as healthy as some eggs or cereal or something.
No, no, no.
Well, cereal's not healthy, but you know what I mean.
You know what the hell I eat for breakfast?
What do you eat
A
for
glass of
breakfast?
milk and a PB&J.
A PB&J for breakfast?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know, but that's what I eat for breakfast. 5 to 6 days out of the week.
PB&J? Why do you do that to yourself, man?
I don't know. I don't. I I have to buy twice the amount of bread I normally would, but apart from that, doesn't really bother me.
PB&J.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Why don't you just have toast?
Ugh, what? That's just bread. You gotta have some protein.
The peanut butter is supposed to be the protein that, like, fuels you for the day.
Yeah.
How much peanut butter are you putting on?
I do glob on the peanut butter.
You put a lot on, huh?
I always like peanut butter. I like lots of peanut butter. And then the jelly cuts through it, then you have a glass of milk.
Glass of milk? I can't complain about that.
No, no, no. I've been having a glass of milk with my breakfast forever.
I've been catching some slack at work for how much milk I drink. Kind of been frowned upon recently.
Why?
You know, it's deemed unnatural by some in the office.
Yeah, and blending a nut up to drink its juice is natural, huh?
Yep.
And calling it milk is unnatural. Sure, whatever.
Yep, and just being attacked at my place of work.
They're just mad because they don't like it, and they wish they could.
Because they don't like me, is that what you said?
No, they just don't like milk. And they
Yeah,
wish they did because they're missing out on the deliciousness.
Yeah,
Next time,
pretty divisive topic.
well, the next time they complain, you tell them, okay, then you can't eat any cheese.
No cheese for them?
No cheese. That's unnatural too. It's the same thing.
Their argument is more so that there's no other. I about messed up. No other mammal species continues drinking milk after like infancy. It's their big spiel.
Yeah, but humans are also the only species that do agriculture. Well, actually, there are ants that do some agriculture. But we're the only ones that have mastered metal. And, we made fire and did this and that. We control what we eat. Hell, we get so... you can control what the things you eat. And how it lives and how it dies. We're God.
We're God, huh?
No, every other species on the planet, they forage and survive. They don't get to choose what to eat. They just eat what is provided by the land. A cow, we tell her what to eat. You're going to eat this. You're going to sit in this pens because we want you to get nice and fat. You're going to die on this date. At this time. And you're going to be delicious.
It's kind of just a depressing story here.
It's true. I mean, no other species no other species wears clothing.
Can you just say that governments do that to people then?
Well, yeah, but truth be told, that's a social contract, and we signed into that. We sign into governments because without them, we would fall into anarchy. Thomas Paine is right.
Thomas Paine. Well, there's a name.
Because I was thinking about something the other day. Why the fuck do we teach ethics classes? Right? You know, by college. So, like, you know, when you're becoming a doctor, you pretty much every doctor in America has to take an ethics class. Ethics and morals class. And I'm like, why? Shouldn't it be pretty well understood by the time you are 27, 26 are probably the age of these people in here?
Some people are confused.
Oh, confused. Right. So, it should be pretty understood of what's right and wrong. Yet, here we have an entire class that is required by the government that you take it. Because they know, and people argue that, no, people aren't born bad. That's a load of horse shit. You wouldn't need this class if people weren't born bad. Because if nobody's born bad, then how could somebody be made bad? Because everybody's bad. Everybody, you know, at some point, somewhere, someone just continued on this lineage of just bad people. All bad people must be related to a single common ancestor who decide, I'm going to be an asshole to my children, so they're an asshole to their children, and so on and so forth. No, people are just born bad. Some people are.
Some people just break bad, though.
Okay, Walter.
Walter. Love that cat.
You want to make some crystal meth?
Walter.
Oh, man. No, so, there it is. It's just like, no, Thomas Paine is right. People would fall into anarchy. Because here's the thing. Not everybody is going... Because not everybody is equal. Yeah, you know, the utopians always say, oh, but if everybody's equal. But that's just not the case. There's always going to be somebody smarter than somebody else. And that somebody is pretty much always going to take it. Actually, I will almost always take advantage of the less intelligent person. And thus, they will have a leg up on everybody else. There will also be somebody that's just that much closer to some resource that everyone else needs. And they can then take advantage of that. It is the way of life, is the way things continue. So, Thomas Paine was right.
Thomas Paine.
Now, I wouldn't say everybody's born evil, but there are people born evil. How did we get on to Thomas Paine?
You were talking about how we force the cows to eat, but I said in that case the government forces us to do the same.
Oh yeah, the social contract.
We are pretty much cattle.
But I mean, we're not being sent to slaughter. To my knowledge, this isn't Russia, so.
Depends what country you're in.
Yeah, it's true. You're in South Sudan, you're probably being sent to slaughter.
They about beat the United States national team for basketball.
That's why I brought it up.
That's funny.
My coworker was telling me, he's like, these are a bunch of dudes who are good at basketball. That doesn't make them a good team, though. You know?
Oh, you mean like the U.S. team?
Yeah.
That's true. They don't play as much as the other teams, but I mean, they still are the most talented, so they should beat South Sudan by more than that.
Yeah, but I mean, look at Miracle on Ice. We got a bunch of random people together to beat the best hockey team in existence.
Miracle on Ice, they had like training as a team, though. These guys get together for a week or two before, and they're like, all right. And it's after the NBA season, so they don't even really try for the first part of it.
Is that the issue?
Yeah, like, if you, I don't know how you do it, but if you gave these guys, like, say, a couple months together, to play and practice together, then they'd be a lot better.
Well, yeah, yeah. So I mean, they're probably gonna kick. They're probably gonna by the if they make it to the end, they will probably be kicking ass because they will have played together long enough.
Maybe. The trick is when you get to the end of the Olympics now, a lot of the teams have NBA players on it, so they're not quite as good as the U.S. team, but they're still a lot more talented than in like the 80s and 90s. And then you also have that factor that it's another example where these guys have been playing together for like tens of years.
Yeah.
That's another issue is the U.S. men's basketball team like rotates every year. Like every new edition, there's new members. While, meanwhile, every other country usually has the same team members for like a 10 year stretch, depending on like age and stuff.
Well, let's just point out this way: the U.S. is constantly giving ourselves giving ourselves a disadvantage. So it's all that more impressive when we win.
Yep, speaks to the basketball talent we have currently, but we'll see how long it lasts, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't wait for us to freaking lose basketball in the Olympics after all that talk.
I think what was the last year? I think 2006 was our worst team in the past, like, not 2006, 2004.
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna say because
would
they
have been
talked.
2002.
Oh,
2002.
what they talked about in house.
What?
They talk about it in house.
Oh, that we lost?
Yeah, remember Chase brings it up because they're talking about that fat girl. They're like, you guys can't
I
even.
don't recall him bringing it up for that case, no.
No, he brings it up because he's like, look at America. They can't even compete in basketball in the Olympics anymore.
Yeah, that was a rough year. Rough Olympic for basketball.
It would have been 2004, not 2002. 2002 is not an Olympic year for summer.
Was it 2008 then was the other Olympic year?
2000, 2004, 2008, 2012, 2016, 2020, 2024.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Are you gonna watch any of the Olympics?
Probably not. Never have.
I'm not a big Olympic fan either.
There's just too many events and too many things going on.
I like how it's nice because you can like flip it on any point of the day and something will be on, but I just have it on the background more so than actually watching.
Yeah, I never understand how, when, and like how all the qualifying stuff works. It's confusing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even bother. Plus, it'd be the one event the U.S. loses in.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's usually the Winter Olympics. And it's just like, I don't want to watch the Winter Olympics. I don't want to watch us get our asses kicked. Although I will say, somebody did point out the fact that we are tied in fourth place for the most, third, we're fourth. There's 4 teams in the top 3 for
Really?
winter medals. And the fact that the U.S. is tied with, like, I think it's Sweden or whatever. And the fact that we have, like, barely any snow grounds where people actually... Like, the percentage of our population that lives in an area that gets winter or has mountains, and has enough snow to do things with, the fact that we do as well as we do in the Olympics is a shocker.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to, like, Sweden and Russia, where they have all this... And the Nordic countries, they have all this. It's always cold. There's always, there's snow majority of the year. They have all this time to train. So.
Yeah, it is definitely different in that regard.
Yeah. So I did see that. So they're like, don't be too down that the U.S. isn't, as dominating as we are in the Summer Olympics. Just remember, we are at a disadvantage when it comes to, natural talent to pick from.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, we also have 300 million people. But we only have, like, apparently 3 million... There's, like, only 3 million people, though, live in areas that qualify for that. But I don't... that get winter.
There's only how many?
Like with mountains and winter, if you include those two teams together, it's like a very, very, very small population.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently. I don't remember what the whole TikTok told me. It's been a while since I saw it.
Not TikTok.
Oh yeah, if you want any information, that's the place that you'll be taught it, and then it'll be gone because it doesn't save the last things you've seen. There's no history, so it just boop gone. And it has a horrible search algorithm. Although YouTube's search algorithm is also crap anymore. Because it just wants to recommend you shit. It doesn't actually want to. It doesn't actually want to find what you're looking for. I miss the days when it used to be synced with Google, and it was just like using a Google search algorithm. Of course, now Google's shit. But okay. One last thing.
Yeah.
Do you think Biden's dead?
I think he has a thing tonight, doesn't he? Press conference.
Not a clue.
Pretty sure he does. No, I don't think he's dead.
Oh, neither do I.
I'm guessing they did take him away and had a sit down, say, no, by the way, you're out. Something along those lines.
Something. I don't know. But a lot of
keep him away for a couple days.
What I find really I was on X. And I see all these right wingers like, where the heck is he? He's missing. I think he's dead. Blah blah blah. What is this country coming to that our president isn't, blah blah blah. And I'm like, this isn't the first time this happened, right?
When was the other time?
FDR.
Remember his polio stuff?
No, he had pneumonia. I believe it was pneumonia. He had caught a case of pneumonia, and he disappeared for like 2 months. It was a while. And historians are pretty damn sure that Eleanor just ran the country. She was the president. Because, she wouldn't let people talk to FDR. If I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And so, people are pretty confident. For several months there in the 1930s, we did not have a male president. We had Eleanor. She did a fine job. But also why do they care at this point if he's dead? All these people are like, I think he's dead. Okay, if he's dead, then why isn't Kamala president already?
Mm-hmm.
What's the point of this charade? He already quit the election. There's no logical reason to keep up this charade that he's alive. Presidents have died in office before. This isn't a new thing.
Yeah.
Okay? He dies, Kamala gets sworn in, we have a female president for 6 months.
It'd be a weird time. I don't know why they would even bother, so I would agree on that.
Right, so Weekend at Biden's, I think Weekend at Bernie's?
Yeah.
I saw somebody have a thing that was Weekend at Biden's. And I'm just like, but what's the point? I think it's just now going through my head. Really, what is the point of that? He's not in the election anymore. He has 6 months left in his presidency, and it's not the first president to die, and not in office, and not the first president to be sick during office and literally disappear. And then you realize, that's just what the algorithm wants to do. It just wants to piss you off in the 24-hour news cycle.
Mm-hmm.
It's there to piss you off and get you angry at the other side. But why is the other side even angry about this? Who cares? I'm not a Biden fan. I don't care. Okay, if he's dead, all right, get Kamala in there. Get her 6 See if she can run the country for 6 months before the dictator takes over.
Yeah, it's an interesting state the country's in.
I don't think she'll win, but after apparently a record-breaking day of campaigning and money they got in, maybe I'm wrong.
I think they had that set up for a while though, but I don't know. I think it'll be close.
Oh, they were pooling funds together for months ahead of
I
time
I think a bunch of super PACs have been withholding funding for a while. Biden kind of just waiting.
for him to quit before they give a bunch of
Yeah,
money.
yeah, especially after
Possible.
the debate.
Possible.
So yeah, it'll be close.
Campaign funds. Like, there's actually, if it wasn't for super PACs, there's actually a finite amount of money that a campaign can actually get. Because
Is it?
each U.S. citizen's only limited to like $1,000 or something.
Mm-hmm. Those
So,
damn super
so
PACs.
at the most, I guess that's $300 billion. That's three. I guess it's like $3 trillion. So maybe no. What's 300 million times 1,000? That's a trillion, isn't it?
300 million times 1,000?
Yeah, it's a billion.
Wouldn't it be 300 billion?
It's probably 300 billion. You're probably correct.
But um,
Yeah, 300 billion. You're correct. That makes more sense. I was trying to do the.
I saw doesn't Elon pay Trump like 45 million a month or something like that for his like fund?
Uh, Not a clue.
I think he does. I think I saw something like that. But kind of crazy how much money is involved for this stuff.
But once again, that only goes into the super PAC. Because once
Yes.
again, there's a limit, and the super PAC, how the super PAC works, these were actually super PACs were actually a new thing. And it's because the Supreme Court decided to make them legal back in like 2012, just before that election. Basically, Basically, it said it was okay for companies to run campaign ads against other against politicians, for and against politicians, because the politicians are only limited to so much donations for campaigns,
Hmm.
and it's a really small amount. And so, and to win any more, you need lots of money. And so that money goes to the super PAC, to those companies, and these companies then run attack ads. They are unaffiliated with the election themselves, but they of course are like, but hey, we'll run campaign ads for you if you, and
Hmm.
then they'll lobby, of course. They're like, hey, we'll run
Gotta love
campaign ads
lobbying.
if you do this thing for us.
Yeah. Always a delight.
Yeah, so honestly, you kind of, if you become president, right? You tell these super PACs, yep, I'll do whatever you want, and then get into power and just be like, yeah, screw you, and then use the CIA to take them out.
Gotta love. Gotta love it.
According to the Supreme Court, you can do that now. You can take out your political adversaries. So, it's legal. Apparently.
Hmm.
It might be illegal, but the Supreme Court's not going to make that decision. They're going to leave it up to the lower courts. And it's like, bruh. It's going to make it back to your desk anyways.
Hmm.
Oh well. Anyways, gotta love the podcast getting political, right?
Yep, it was a good podcast day. Talked about some movies, always fun. Some your book reading. I'm not really reading any books right now, so I can't. I read, I reread Fire and Blood before the new House of Dragon season came out, but
Ah,
haven't been really reading since then a whole lot.
I
But
listen. I don't really
always good
read.
to hear about what you're up to in reading. So
Oh yeah. Well, I'll have to. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna go from here now. So, because once I'm finished with it, I don't know. I
hmm.
could really get behind a whole series of books about dinosaurs. Kind of feel like I'm 10 years old again. Being into dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs are great.
They certainly are. I don't understand why anybody ever makes fun of people who like dinosaurs.
Some people, they go maybe a little overboard, but regular people,
Yeah,
just fine.
I don't need to know every damn name of every damn dinosaur. That's.
Yeah.
And I like, did you know that this dinosaur was found in this time period, and only did this? And of course, that's speculation because we don't actually know.
Yeah. That's pretty accurate.
Reminds me of a House episode where somebody was like, "What's the difference between a sea lion and a?" The little girl was like, "Dad, what's the difference between a sea lion and a seal?" And he thought it was a joke, so he's like, "What's the difference?" And he's like, sea lions have ears." And she was like so confused, like, "Is this supposed to be a joke? What is this?" It wasn't. The little girl was like, "It's not a joke, Dad." But
Hmm.
she told it like it was supposed to be a joke. Oh my god, my cousin and I were so confused when we watched. He was so confused when he watched it. He's like, "What? What is this little girl talking about?" And I'm like, yeah, this scene is always weird." Anyways, I would like to thank you. Well, thank you for coming on. We'll do the outro here, and it's been a great time. I'm sure we'll do it again. But
Yes.
will we do it?
Definitely will. They're nice and quick. I enjoy them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll do the outro, then I'll ask you about NCA. Anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New podcasts every Friday, noon, Central Time. And good night.